No, it was just that I love swimming and I was getting an opportunity to swim. So I used to just train and have fun with everybody. Yeah. He was able to understand me much better than me understanding myself, that what I want. I mean, as a young kid, it was every race was I used to be very nervous because it was we knew that we have trained for this moment, and we have to just go. We say all out. Because I love swimming, I pushed really hard for that, and I don't think there is anything else that I've actually worked so hard for.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the GIBS IRE Talks Podcast, a space where real life experiences, lifelong journeys, and meaningful experiences are shared and come together to help students and our viewers understand what it is like to lead a life of purpose and meaning. I'm Dr. Pallavi Vyas, your host for today's podcast, and I'm really excited to be having this session with you all today to have a lot of learning from our speaker for today. Today's episode is truly special. We have with us Mr. Sharath Gayakwad, an athlete par excellence whose real life stories and journey of resilience, grit, and determination will tell us about what it takes to be what he is today. Mr. Sharath Gayakwad is one of the Paralympic swimmer who has achieved a lot in his life just because of the kind of determination that he had towards the purpose that he had set for his life. So let us hear from Mr. Sharath Gayakwad and get to know what it takes to become a leader in real life as well as in the journey that you aspire to have for yourself. So, hi, Mr. Sharath.
Hi.
Thank you for agreeing to be with us on today's podcast. So, while we start, let me begin with a question about your early years. So, you've born and brought up in Bangalore. So, if you could tell us how your early years and your childhood helped in shaping your journey or shaping the way you as an individual are today. So you could share something.
Yeah, I mean, my initial years was very difficult because I had to take help from almost each and every single person around me, even doing the simplest of things like writing in a book or putting my clothes on. So I had help for everywhere, but I was always interested in sports. So I was very fond of cricket and football. Um, I was doing pretty good, but that didn't kind of do any changes, a lot of changes in my life. The turning point came with swimming when I was 9 years old. It was a school program. They made it mandatory for everybody to learn swimming, and I didn't have an option to get out of it. So we started swimming, and then and once I got into the water, I started loving it, and I think that also got me to gain a lot of confidence that yes, even I can swim. And I think lot of teachers, everyone understood. I mean, they saw me, saw that change in confidence in me, and I was starting to do things on my own, and they encouraged me to do swimming more and more. Yeah.
All right. So, would you say that probably your school played quite a huge role in becoming what you are today?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because if they wouldn't have, if they would have agreed for my parents to, my
Let you
parents to
be
convince them to let me be and not try swimming, I think I wouldn't have. Even today, I wouldn't have learned swimming.
All right. So at that time, I'm sure when you started swimming for the first time and when it was mandatory in school and you had no other choice but to take up swimming, even during those early years, did you ever realize that probably swimming is something that could be more than just an activity that I'm doing in school? Did you have that kind of a realization at that time in your life?
No, it was just that I love swimming and I was getting an opportunity to swim. So I used to just train and have fun with everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if I'm not wrong, your coach, Mr. John
Yeah.
Christopher, what role do you think he has played in your life, and what kind of an inspiration he was able to instill in you? So, how would you, say that he was very instrumental in you becoming who you are today.
Yeah.
So would you like to share something about that with
Yeah,
us?
definitely. I was already a pretty good swimmer when he came into the academy. I was training as a head coach, and then even though he didn't have any kind of prior experience of training a person with disability, he took me under his wing, and we did a lot of experiments, and it was a very nice learning experience for me. There was constant input that whether I'm feeling comfortable, whether things are working out for me or not. So that way, a lot of things changed, and I think the kind of care and love that he gave, not only me, of course, each and every single student, but yeah, that was a very different experience for me, for someone like an outsider
Mhm.
to support me so much.
Mhm.
Yeah, of course, I've had my school teachers and everyone support me a lot, but not someone like close like him. And of course, staying with training with him for like 5 hours a day, we developed a very close bond. And I will say he could easily brainwash me. There were a lot of things that I wanted to do, and he would always convince me that that is not right, and this is the right way to do it or right way to go. And without thinking twice, I would do it, and it helped me a lot. And it also got I realized that he was able to understand me much better than me understanding myself, that what I want. I've gone through injuries. I wanted to quit swimming. I felt, very weak in training sometimes. I was not improving. So there's been that phase where I was going slower than my previous best times and all. So he was always there for me, supporting me, and of course, convincing me to continue. Um, yeah, it went on like for a very long time. Yeah.
All right. So, when do you think this kind of a maturity inside you might have come? I'm sure you must have had your struggles because when you started, you were very young, maybe a kid, I would say. When did you get that kind of a maturity to understand that, yes, this is something that I can do? I'm sure your coach and your teachers and your fellow swimmers must have played some role there. But
Yeah.
if I ask you that you as an individual, when do you think that kind of a maturity inside you came, and when you said that I can do it, and I'm sure with a little bit of perseverance, I can
Hmm.
definitely attain something bigger. So when that kind of
Yeah,
a
it
maturity
was
came?
somewhere. I think it started with when I was 15 years old, when we have this career counseling in schools
Mm-hmm.
happening when you're in your 10th, right? So that's when people started to ask me like, what do you want to do? What do you want to become? So I started to think, and since I was like really enjoying swimming, and I had not achieved something great in swimming, but I was already a international medalist by then.
Okay.
So that way, it was very easy for me to decide that swimming is going to be my career choice. But back then I was always thinking that it's swimming, and then it is going to be coaching for me. I didn't know that professional swimming, being a professional swimmer and being a professional coach, are two completely different things back
All
then.
right.
But yeah, that was the path I chose, and
Mhm.
mainly because I was very happy.
All right.
Um, but yeah, learning wise, I'm still learning today. In spite of being in this field for 20 years almost, I'm still learning today. And it every time it can be the same kind of experiences or even different, but we are learning that. I can definitely say, when I was somewhere around 24, 25, basically when I started coaching,
Hmm.
so the kind of responsibility that was there, and the change in lifestyle that I had was, I think I would say that is the point where you can say this
The real
maturity.
maturity
Yeah,
developed in you.
yeah.
All right. Interesting. So, could you also share with us, Sharath, that maybe during your training as a para swimmer, I'm sure there must have been a lot of physical, mental challenges that you would have gone through. And I'm sure, I mean, till pretty long in your life, those
Hmm.
challenges might have been there. So could you tell us, how did you actually train yourself, or how did you really build that capacity to understand that, this is how I need to maintain my balance, this is how I need to maintain my composure
Hmm.
when I am in the pool, when I'm in the water? So how did you build that, and where did that kind of a mindset come into you?
Yeah. I mean, as a young kid, it was every race was, I used to be very nervous. There has been a lot of competitions where I have, puked in the morning, and then still went on to do the race. But, that was a phase for, I think, 5, 6 years. um, but yeah, as you start gaining experience, I started to feel, and there's a way that your body tells that yes, you have trained well for this competition, and then you're prepared for it. And of course, I was always a fan of Ian Thorpe, who's an Australian swimmer. And I think 2007, 8, 6, 7 was the time where we actually got a computer at my place, and then I got access to all these interviews and racing videos of all the Olympics and everything. And then I started to learn and gain as much as knowledge from it. And with the interviews and all, of course, Ian Thorpe told that losing is not coming second. It is getting out of the water knowing you could have done better.
Yeah.
So it was always about giving your 100%. And ever since then, it has kind of been my life motto that I have to give my 100% no matter what. And so every time I swim, so it was all about giving your 100%. So whether it was even though I was an international medalist, even if it was a national championship, I was always giving my 100%.
All right, great, great. So, as one of the first Indian swimmers to qualify in the para swimming competitions, I'm sure you must have felt that kind of a burden, that you have a national responsibility on your shoulders, maybe because you're representing India on a global stage. How did that feel? How did you manage that? And how would you say that, that inner voice that told you that, you're trained and you're very good at it and
Hmm.
you're already in the best of your game? How did all of that work out for you? And how did you feel about that kind of a challenge, or the kind of pressure that this kind of a
Yeah.
competition brought to you?
Yeah, like I said, it was about giving my 100%, right? So being in the Paralympics was more of a feel good experience, and it's kind of a dream come true moment than a pressure thing for me. um, because of course, as a swimmer, it was always a dream to be in the Paralympics, and of course win a gold medal. But yeah, I've achieved the first step, and just go out there and give your best. So, I mean, I've always told this story, but it's a very beautiful example of sportsmanship. Um, so, before the race, we have a something called as call room, where you have to report 20 minutes before your race, so that the officials check your racing gear, and if everything is legal, and of course give you time for yourself to prepare. So I'm with my competitors, and these are the people I've almost raced throughout my life. It's the same guys, and it's just natural. It's like, how do you feel? We are conversing with each other. How do you feel? What did you have for breakfast? It's absolutely a very calm situation. Somebody is singing, somebody is dancing,
Okay.
and we're just smiling at each other. And just before we go on the racing blocks, we're showing thumbs up to each other, wishing each other luck. So I think there was never a pressure,
Okay.
even at that level, because we knew that we have trained for this moment, and we have to just go, we say, all out.
All right. Great, great, great. So, in fact, my next question to you was supposed to be that whenever we talk about sports, there is a lot of mental pressure that players would have. And I would have asked you this question, that how do you deal with that mental
Okay.
pressure? So I think you've quite,
Yeah, yeah,
in a
yeah.
way summed it up, that I
Yeah.
think you all go with that
And
spirit.
I
Is
think
what you would
all
say.
coaches, basically tell that you win medals in your training. So the better you have trained, the better you have chances of winning a medal. So it doesn't matter that somebody is faster than you or not. Especially in a sport like swimming, it is individual effort.
Hmm.
Like if you have given your best and managed to go faster than everybody, that's more than enough.
You've had your game in your hand already.
Yes, yeah.
All right, great, great, great. So when we talk about sports or para swimming or any such games of that kind, I'm sure being motivated all the time must be something which is essential for you. And you, even before a match, you can sometimes have those kind of negative feelings that probably I'm not ready, I'm not prepared, or maybe I'm not feeling mentally all right.
Hmm.
So how do you keep yourself going during those tough times, Sharath? As in, if you've had such kind of experiences in the past wherein before a particular race or before a particular event you
Hmm.
weren't ready and motivated enough, what is it that has kept you going? What is it that has made you feel that no, I have to do it and I have to achieve that? So could you
Hmm.
share any of those experiences with
Yeah,
us?
for me, I mean, I've definitely had some situations, and my coach used to always tell that if you have not trained well, your cap is going to come off during the race.
Right.
I mean, your cap doesn't fit you
Yeah.
right during
Okay.
your race, and
Mhm.
I've had cap come off halfway when I've raced, and I always recall that yes, he had
Yeah.
told that this is going to happen. Um, and I mean, yeah, you definitely don't feel so well. And the thing is, the more nervous you feel, the tired you are even before the race.
Okay.
Even if you have trained well,
Hmm.
because you're nervous, your heart starts beating fast,
Faster.
and starts burning calories,
Yeah.
and you're already tired.
Hmm.
And so that is always there. But the main challenge for me has been the shoulder injury.
Okay.
So I've had the injury since 2009, and since then it has been it's about managing and pushing, of course, with the pain. But yeah, sometimes when I've taken longer breaks and I was not confident enough, I didn't train properly, I've gone through these situations.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Okay.
yeah, it's like I've said, it is all about giving you 100%, and the better you train, the better position you're in.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. So, Sharath, coming from a very humble background, I'm sure everybody would agree with me that your journey is really, really inspiring, and I'm sure a lot of individuals would be looking up to you and would be thinking and saying to themselves that even
Hmm.
I can do something of that sort. So, how important do you think your own resilience and a good support system back
Hmm.
home, or let's say in the form of coaches or in the form of right teachers, right school, how important do you think those support systems are for any individual to reach where you are today? So, whether it is about a Paralympian or whether it is
Hmm.
about any other individual, how important are these support systems according to you?
Yeah, I think see, the first step is, of course, parents, right?
Hmm.
Without their
Yes.
permission, you don't start off with
Hmm.
anything.
Hmm.
Especially in a sport like swimming, where you have to start when you're a 5-year old. So parents' approval was the most important thing, and um, when I used to swim, there was absolutely zero support from the government, whether it was
No.
the state government or the central government.
Hmm.
And almost, I think, for 7-8 years, it was solely my father who took care of everything. And of course, I did get a lot of support from the school as well, in form of concession in the fees, or even for my travel, they've also sponsored me sometimes, so
Hmm.
which was very encouragetive. And of course, coach, without his guidance and training, you wouldn't have the right kind of training and
Correct.
perform well. But yeah, it was basically my parents who took all the burden. Even today, that is the case, but it is far much better because the facilities that we are getting now, and the rewards that we are getting now is pretty big. And of course, the state government and the central government have pitched in a lot of money to for the sport development, but it is still lacking in grassroots, which is the main thing. But I would say, of course, when you're taking my example, I'm right here, that you have seen me go through all that struggle
Hmm.
and achieve here today. Um, so it is. I would just tell you that you have to do it. If you love it,
Yeah.
you have to do it. And yeah, I believe if you love something, that is going to make you work really hard and not give up.
All right. I think very beautifully summed up the last question, the way you summed up. And in fact, this brings me to my last question for the podcast, which I would want you to share with the what viewers, as in a lot of students and others who would be viewing this podcast. If you would have one message for them, which could tell them that even if there are times wherein students or individuals in general have any self doubt, have any fear about achieving their goals, just like you said, that that support system is needed, and sometimes you may have that fear, but then what is it that you feel students could do or our viewers could do to overcome that fear, to let them tell themselves that this is something which is achievable? So if there's some message that you could share with our viewers.
Yeah, I would say that if you're really happy doing something,
Mhm.
and it's one thing you need to figure out is that is this going to make me happy throughout my life?
Mhm.
And I personally don't care about money, the financials,
Mhm.
because I've seen it firsthand that I've come from nothing and today I'm doing really well.
Yeah.
And so money will definitely come. It is about the process, and if you have that kind of patience, you can definitely do well. Fear is definitely going to be there, um, but if you have that support system, it's not going to sustain for a very long time. It's all about being happy, because I say that I'm a very lazy person, but because I love swimming, I pushed really hard for that, and I don't think there is anything else that I've actually worked so hard for.
Mhm. All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Sharath, for
Yeah.
sharing so much about your journey with us with such honesty, with such humility, and in such a candid way, wherein you just shared everything that you've been through. And in that, you had a lot of messages and a lot of learning for our viewers as well. And I'm sure they would also agree, our viewers would also agree with this, that if you really have passion towards something and if you really love something, I think these limitations don't really matter. And with
Yeah.
a little bit of grit, with a little bit of perseverance, with a little bit of hard work, and probably the support system, like you mentioned, I'm sure there is a lot that everyone can achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
so
with us
much.
for this podcast, Mr. Sharath.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. At GIBS Business School, we believe in nurturing not just careers, but character. At GIBS Business School, we create the space for our students and for our learners to create lifelong experiences and to learn about the journeys of resilience, grit, hard work, and determination. So, thank you for joining us today for the IRE Talks podcast. I'm your host, Pallavi Vyas, signing off. Until next, when we meet with many more stories of determination, hard work, excellence, and lifelong learning. Thank you for joining us, and do follow us on all our handles at the rate GIBS Business School Bangalore, at the rate IRE Talks Podcast. Thank you.